And thank you so much for joining us tonight. We are very honored to have a fabulous evening with Misty Powell, Staying Loyal to Your Soil. And this is one of the first of our Healing from Trauma workshop series. We have 2 more coming. And if you would, if you give us your email or if you participated today, then we'll send you email for the other workshops and all the other wonderful offerings from the Women's Foundation of California. Tonight's workshop is part of the series of California Women Rising, which was planned as an in-person summit here in Los Angeles past June. But due to pandemic, we shifted to online Zoom trainings and creating space around self-care so that all the women leaders will take care of ourselves during these times. And I would like to introduce Sonia Young Adam, who is Executive Director of California Black Women's Health Project. And Sonia is also a member of our advisory committee of the California Women Rising and has been a fabulous advisor and a leader in this process. And we have been working together for the past couple of years. So welcome, Sonia, and I'm gonna hand it over to you.
Thank you so much, Jay. It has been a couple of years. Wow. You know, this last 2020, I sometimes, forget to add that on to, the time that preceded it. But I'm very happy to be here in space with all of you this evening. And I do appreciate the opportunity to introduce you all to someone who, I get excited. I get like a little bit even slightly overwhelmed. Just anytime I'm in space with Misty Powell. I'll tell a very quick story because Jay didn't tell me if I had like 1 minute or 3 minutes. So I'm going to tell a very quick story that I have a neighbor, that lives a block away from me, and our families are very close together. And last year, my neighbor came by to, pick up some things. And she was just glowing. And I said, how are you doing? And she said, today I met the most incredible person. I had the most amazing movement session. And this was in person. And she said, I can't stop thinking about it. I cannot stop thinking about it. Like, it really changed my life. And I'm like, are you kidding? And you're talking to someone who at that point had never done yoga before, had never, really done this type of like movement that's connected with heart and soul. And I said, well, what was it? And she said, it was just this sister. Her name is Misty Powell. And, I went to her class and, she could not stop talking about it. And she said, all I can think about now is seeing her again. And I thought, wow. And she said, you have to look her up. And I immediately, when I went back home, I immediately looked up, just typed in her name, started doing a research, and found Misty Powell. And I just read all about her. I was so excited. And sight unseen, without ever having met her myself, but just based on what I heard from my neighbor and reading about Misty, I immediately booked her. I booked her. I was like, we need you. The California Black Women's Health Project, we need you. So she has just been a loving, incredible healer and just someone who has just, given of herself. She helps to curate incredibly beautiful, safe, and wonderful spaces for us. She does a lot of our traditional practices, as we use, sister circles in our communities up and down the state of California. And because of COVID, we're able to experience her even more, like you're going to have her here today. So very quickly, in terms of her bio, because you want to give people all of the credit that they're due. Misty is a psychologist, a holistic Reiki healer, and a certified yoga instructor. And she will take you on a journey back to your inner wisdom in such a way that you are embodied and resilient to some of the external forces, and we know about those. She applies a holistic formula, and she teaches manifesting your best life. She offers a safe space to explore yourself, to explore oneself, all the while reflecting a high level of integrity and a devotion to personal growth and freedom. She is a modern day, I just love this, a modern day ancient soul, and an advisor who's passionate about yoga, traveling, and wellness retreats. She's skilled in the art of dance and movement and traditional cultural rich practices. So I just encourage all of you to breathe in, take time, enjoy the experience with Misty, and I hope that you will walk away from this looking forward to your next opportunity or engagement with her. So thank you so much to all of the advisors and the team and the leaders at Women Rising, to Jay, to the Women's Foundation, to the California Endowment, all the partners involved. Thank you so much. And Misty, sweetheart, you know how I feel about you, and I'm so glad to see you in this space. So thank you.
Thank you, Sonia. Thank you so much. Welcome, 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 everybody. So we are going to give ourselves a round of applause right now. Just start clapping. Clapping. Yes, yes, yes. Say yes. Yes to healing. Say yes. Yes to self-care. Say yes, 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 yes. Clap to your mind. Yes, yes, yes. Clap to your lips for speaking light language. Yes, yes, yes. Clap to your ears for right listening. Yes, yes, yes. We clap to the doctors, the nurses that are working around the clock to save lives during this pandemic. Yes, yes. We clap to our bodies, our hearts. Yes. I learned this technique from one of my light worker friends, dear sister Angel, and it's so beautiful that you can do this at any given moment, anytime you feel stuck, anytime you feel happy, anytime you feel joy, just clap. Celebrate yourself in this moment. Yes, yes, yes. Celebrate yourself. Nice. Bringing the palm of the hands together, taking a deep inhale, inhaling all the way from the cradle of your core. And just holding at the top. And then exhale, release. Keep exhaling, keep exhaling. And then emerge again and inhale. Nice. Exhale, let it go. Doesn't that feel good? Just a good, rich breath. Let's do another one. Inhale, receive your breath. Exhale, let it go. Beautiful. So if you have a essential oil, if you brought an essential oil with you to the Zoom meeting, go ahead and grab that if you haven't done so already. And take some essential oil and just rub it in the palm of your hands. And just begin to circulate that essence over yourself. So using essential oils are so beneficial. Essential oils, they all have a certain vibrational frequency. And when using essential oils, they instantly lift your spirits. They raise your vibrational frequency. I'm using rose essential oil, and rose essential oil is the highest vibration there is on planet Earth. It vibrates at 320 megahertz. We naturally vibrate at about 78 megahertz. So once again, using those essential oils just instantly raise your vibration. All right, so let's ground into the practice with some sound. We've celebrated ourselves. We've applied our essential oils. Now let's soak up some sound frequencies. When I strike this root chakra crystal bowl, I want you to again receive your breath. When you're ready, let it go. Keep receiving your breath. And as you're receiving your breath, just inhale the fullness of your being. And on your exhale, soften something on your body, whatever that is for you. Maybe it's your forehead, your shoulders, your hips. Nice. One of my teachers, John Roger, he mentions the art of receiving your breath. Throughout our day, we go around and we're taking things. We take a call, we take a break, we take a breath. I want to invite you to shift your perspective when it comes to your breath. Instead of taking your breath, which is already readily available to you at every moment, simply receive your breath. Receive it like a gift. And when it's time to let it go, let it go. Now, welcome to Loyal to Your Soil workshop. So this is a yoga workshop, but we're going to go through some storytelling. And I thought I would actually present a PowerPoint to you, but something said, no, just tell your story. My ancestors, they are storytellers. So today I just want to share my story with you. And I encourage you to receive what you need and just leave the rest. So the roots of self-care, loyal to your soil for the benefits of healing, personal growth, for sustainability of your community. And so why self-care? Well, as beings, we are made up of many dimensions. And so when we are loyal to our soil, when we put ourselves first, we get to experience the wellness of our being. We get to explore the many dimensions of who we are as beautiful light beings. Now, in this workshop, let's look at everything from a holistic perspective. And if we're looking at everything from a holistic perspective, then we get to see that this is one collective consciousness, one mind. We are all one, interconnected. The truth and wisdom exist in the whole universe. So if we hone in to this oneness within ourselves, we know that everything that's going on from within is being projected outwardly. So this allows us to pay more attention to the relationship to our health. It also allows us to pay more attention to the relationship of our self-care. So let me share with you the first time I started my garden. And notice I said the first time I started my garden. I was so excited about it. And one of my community mothers, she came over and she helped me till the soil, like kind of just uproot the dirt that was there. And she told me that I would need some key ingredients to get this dirt to a point to where it's so nourished that the seeds can grow. And so she told me that I would need compost. She told me I would need some cow manure. I would need other fertilizers to mix into this dry dirt to enrich the soil. And so I got all of those ingredients. After I got those ingredients, I started mixing them all up into the dirt. And it was so beautiful. I ended up getting some seeds. I planted the seeds. The garden was so nice, but it was just a hobby. It was something to do. So when I would look outside, I'm like, oh, I'm growing a garden. Ha, hooray to me. But then it got to a point to where there were mountain creatures coming into the garden. And it scared me away from the garden. And so I didn't want to go back there anymore. I was just like, oh, whatever, I'll leave it alone. I'm not here to be dealing with raccoons and possums and other stuff that was coming into the garden. So I let it go. And in letting it go, I felt like I had lost something, but I didn't have the energy to go back and explore the garden. And so I just went on with my everyday living. But when I would walk up my stairs, I noticed that the garden was drying up. And I had recently started a relationship, and this relationship was taking up a lot of my time. And it was such a beautiful relationship. I allowed myself to be vulnerable in this relationship. I let my guards down, and I started to give more of myself to this relationship. And at one point, I felt like I had lost me. I noticed that other relationships were not going so well. The relationship with my mother wasn't going well. The relationship with my partner wasn't going too well. And most of all, the relationship with myself wasn't well. And so this is when I noticed the shift. And I realized that I had to get back to the root of relationship. And in getting back to the root of relationship, I decided to start my garden again. But this time, I had a different perspective, a different awareness with my relationship. It was with my garden, it was a contract. This time, I wanted to create a garden of consciousness. And so I looked at the preparation of my garden from a different perspective. This time I started to really pay attention to the garden of consciousness. This time I started to really pay attention to the soil. Now, the soil is everything. The soil, it makes everything grow abundantly. In our lives, the soil is what you eat. The soil is what you think. The soil is what you give your awareness to. The soil is what you are in relationship to. Now, when you are loyal to your soil is loyal to you. And in order for you to be loyal to anything in your life, you must first be loyal to yourself. Know that you are resilient, and we have to prioritize our self-care. We have to prioritize ourselves first. We have to give ourselves the love that we so desperately need. Now, as I was tilling this soil, a lot of things were coming up for me. And I realized that as these things were coming up, I just continued to till that soil. It was almost like a therapy session going on. And the soil started to soften up a little bit. And I noticed that I started to soften up a little bit. Then my garden of consciousness allowed me to realize that, okay, now my soil is really fluffy. It's ready. It's ready for me to start planting the seeds in this environment. Know that when you plant the seeds, that soil is the blueprint of those seeds. The blueprint of the seeds are determined by the productivity and the conditions of your soil. What is this? This is your family. This is your home. This is your business that you are wanting to birth. So anytime that you are planting those seeds in your life, sometimes you experience a little resistance. Sometimes you experience a little fear, anxiety. But just think about what happens when we plant seeds. When we plant a seed into the soil, it goes down into this deep, dark, moist area. And that seed can't really connect to another seed. It has to grope for light. So sometimes in our lives, we are planted into a position where we have to grope for light. We have to grope for resources. But we have access to all of this. We have access to community. We have access to practitioners. We have access to sister circles. We have access to love. We have access to community. And as we utilize these resources, we grow up. We grow through what we are literally going through. So today I tell you to grow through the resistance, grow into the receptivity, grow into the reverence, grow into self-responsibility of your self-care, and continue to find those resources that you need to experience a healthy, vibrant life. And in order for you to be happy, once again, you have to put yourself first. You have to honor your well-being so that everything else can grow in your life. When you are planting those seeds of goodness, you get to reap the harvest of everything that you have planted. And sometimes, we experience the anxiety. We go through the trauma. We even experience the fear, but lean into the fear and become fearlessly unafraid. This is how you show up in your life. This is how you become resilient in your life. This is how you allow yourself to integrate your self-care, putting you first, staying loyal to your soil. Now, when I started to plant these seeds into my soil, I would put an affirmation or a prayer into every seed. I wanted to be intentional about the relationship that I was building with my garden of consciousness. And I noticed that as these seeds started to sprout up to meet the light, I was sprouting in my life. As my garden was growing, I was growing. All of us have an inner garden of consciousness that we have the ability, the self-responsibility to cultivate so that we can grow up into that beautiful flower that we are. Some may be a rose, some may be a sunflower, some may be a lily. Whatever you are, stay loyal. Yes, Sonia, stay loyal to your soil and continue to grow up, grow through what you are going through. You are so resilient. So continue to nurture your soil, continue to nurture your self-love. And as you do this, you nurture your family, you nurture your community, and you nurture your business. One of my friends, we were having a conversation and she said, Misty, I just don't know. I really don't know what's going on with me right now. My mind, my body, my spirit, it feels out of balance. I feel like I may be going through a depression. So you know what I gave her? I gave her the good old clap. I said, congratulations. You have just been planted. The garden of consciousness allowed me to look at fear, anxiety, depression from a different perspective. Because it's just like that seed that's being planted. That's how you feel when you're going through these type of imbalances, when you are feeling depressed. You feel like you've been planted into something dark, into a dark space where you don't have enough room. You feel stiff and rigid. But I'm here to tell you that anytime you are going through those feelings, keep growing. That means that something big is on the horizon. So keep groping for the light. Keep going. Anytime you are in those states, you have just been planted. And all you need to do is continue to stay loyal to your soil, and your soil will stay loyal to you. So now, as I'm planting these seeds, everything is starting to grow. Things were becoming a little uncontrollable. There was so much abundance that was happening in this garden of consciousness. And I realized in this garden of consciousness, I had to start setting boundaries. And I realized that as I had to start setting boundaries in this garden of consciousness, I needed to start setting boundaries in my life. Sometimes in life, things become a little overwhelming. Things start to grow on top of each other. Things start to merge into other areas. Contracts that we have created start to get a little tricky. And so this is where those healthy boundaries must come in. Reassessing, taking back that self-responsibility, honoring yourself, recognizing what layer of your being needs to be nurtured so that you can start setting those healthy boundaries, setting those healthy boundaries for your mental well-being, setting healthy boundaries for your spiritual well-being, setting those healthy boundaries for your physical well-being, prioritizing yourself and putting yourself first. It's the root of self-care. Now, I say when it comes to boundaries, the only people that get upset about you setting boundaries is the people that were benefiting from you not having any. The only conditions that get upset or whatever for you setting boundaries is those things that were actually impeding on your boundaries. So be relentlessly in setting your boundaries for your self-care. Now, the seed energy must be nurtured with the tools that you have access to and watered with the consciousness of self-responsibility. We all have an abundance of resources that we have access to. We all have the tools to actually produce what we need. It's just that self-responsibility that we must integrate into our being by any means necessary so that we can continue to give that love to our family, to our community, to our business, to our children. The root of self-care first starts with staying loyal to your soil. So now I tell you, grow towards the light. Every seed that you plant, grow patience, grow compassion, grow understanding, grow awareness, grow wellness, grow your self-care. And self-care looks different for everyone. Self-care may be for some having a counselor, having a practitioner. Self-care may be you having essential oils in your life. Self-care for you may be balancing out with sound frequency. Self-care for you may be that sister circle, may be that accountability partner. Ask yourself this question: what do I need for my self-care? Yes, grow your self-care. What do I need for my self-care? What do I need to start setting boundaries? What type of boundaries do I need to set in my life? Now, I want to take you back to the ingredients of your soil. I forgot to mention this. Now, the ingredients of your soil, it's compost, it's paper towels, it's old fruits, it's old vegetables, it's all that stuff that you don't need anymore. And that's kind of like our lives. In life, sometimes we get compost. Sometimes we get cow manure. Sometimes we get waste. We'll realize that this compost, the waste, the cow manure, the BS, all of that enriches your soil. So these experiences that we go through in life, they actually strengthen us if we use them in the proper way, if we take care of our self-care and use those experiences to enrich us, to make us stronger, to make our soil more rich. We can use it as that fertilizer to help that seed that we are planting grow thick roots to anchor down into the soil so that we can reap the harvest of a beautiful garden of consciousness, so that we can reap the harvest of everything that we truly desire, of everything that our heart desires. Stay loyal to your soil. When you are loyal to your soil is loyal to you. Now, sometimes we have weeds that grow in our garden. It reminds us that we have to continue to set those boundaries. So we have to pluck it right away, pluck those weeds out. These are things that we don't need. Get rid of it. And come back to the loyalty of your soil, the loyalty of your self-responsibility. Now, today I'm going to take you through a yoga practice. This yoga practice is going to be a root chakra yoga practice. And some may ask, what is the root chakra? The root chakra, it sits at the base of the spine. It's our foundation. It's everything that our energy centers are made up of. It's our family. It's our finances. It's our feeling of being fully supported. When it's out of balance, we are out of balance. So today, this yoga practice is going to be all about grounding into our root chakra energy. and feeling a sense of well-being, a sense of groundedness. All right, so join me on the mat and let's go ahead and get started with our yoga portion of this workshop. So I want to give everybody a few minutes to get comfortable on your yoga mat. And we're going to start in a easy cross-legged position. And if this isn't comfortable for you, you can go ahead and stretch the legs out. Find a comfortable seating position that works for you. Now, as we go through this yoga practice, listen to your body. Listen to what your body needs. I'll direct you through the poses, but it's ultimately up to you. This is your practice. And at any given time, should you feel that you need to take a break, honor yourself in that moment. And then when it feels right to you, just join us back into the practice. So now we're going to set an intention for our yoga practice. If you are in a receptive energy, you can keep your palms facing up. If you are in the energy of just wanting to release and let go, turn the palms facing down. Know that this can change at any given time throughout your practice. Now I want to invite you now to just get still and tune into the flow of your breathing. Notice the rise of your inhale and the flow of your exhale. As you inhale, imagine that you're inhaling all the way from the base of your spine, moving upward. And you should feel yourself getting a little taller as you inhale. On the exhale, find something to soften into. Now, this easy Sukasana sitting pose you can do at any given time. It's the perfect grounding pose. Stay with your breath. And then when it feels right, place one hand on the heart and another hand on your belly. The hand that's on your heart, connect to the rhythm of your heartbeat here. And feel your heartbeat rest right in the palm of your hand. The hand that's on your belly, continue to tune into the rise of your inhales and the falls of your exhales. And closing your eyes, you are safe in your body. You are safe in your environment. Focus on the point between your brows. Releasing any tension from the shoulders. We're going to take a journey through the garden of consciousness. And I want to invite you to call in an intention for your practice. As you see this intention in your mind's eye, plant that intention as if you are planting a seed inside of you. And as you plant this seed, connect that intention to the rhythm of your heartbeat and let it rest right in the palm of your hand. Beautiful. And whenever it feels right to you, release the hands and slowly start to rotate the neck around both directions. And you can journey at any given pace that's comfortable for you, pausing chin to chest as you continue to rotate the neck around. Give yourself a pause, a quick pause, chin to chest. Continue to receive your breath. And know that as we move through this gentle root chakra yoga practice, your breath is the practice. It doesn't matter how perfect the pose is. These are gentle poses. The most important thing here is your breath. As you are receiving your breath, you are sending oxygen throughout your entire physical landscape. You have the ability to direct your breath wherever you choose. Nice. Stay with your breath. Your breath is your practice. Nice. Returning back to center to a neutral position. Now we want to balance out the left and right hemisphere of the brain. We do this with a pranayama technique, and it's really simple. You'll inhale, guiding the chin to greet the left shoulder. Returning back to center and exhaling to the right shoulder. And this is allowing us to slow down and just become receptive to the yoga practice, to the mindful movement that we're doing here. And continuing this motion, notice if there is something that you want to release. As you inhale to the left, I am releasing anxiety. Returning back to center, exhaling to the right, anxiety is released. I am releasing fear. Fear is released. I am releasing grief. Grief is released. I am releasing worry. Worry is released. Guiding the head back to a neutral position. Now I want to invite you now to take a forward fold. As you inhale, sweeping the arms out and up. Getting tall in your spine. On your exhale, forward fold. Allow the hands to fall where they feel supported. Guiding the head down. Bringing the chin to the chest. Now in this forward fold, welcome in a pause. So in a yoga practice, a pause can be your shift. It can be everything in your practice. And what I mean by that is as you inhale, receive your breath, you want to get really full. On your exhale, let it go. And after you exhale, give yourself about a 3 to 5 second pause before you inhale again. In that pause, allow yourself to ground even deeper into the pose. Notice the shift that happens as you honor your pause. When it feels right to you, walk the hands over to your left. You want to stack the right hand on top of your left hand, and then soften the right shoulder down, tucking the chin to the chest or the forehead to the left knee. Keep honoring your pause. Trust your body's release. So in these gentle yoga poses, we're moving a little slower than normal. And we're really focusing our awareness on the breath, the breathing portion of this practice. What this also allows us to do is to travel inward and notice where we are holding trauma, where we may be holding tension in the body. And more so specifically with this pose in the hips, in the lower back, in the shoulders, in the neck. Carry that pause into those areas and trust your body's resilience to release. Find more space, more openness. And then when you're ready, go ahead and walk the hands over to your right. This time we're placing the left hand on top of the right, softening the left shoulder down, chin to chest or forehead to your right knee. Keep honoring your pause. Walking the hands back to center and back towards the shins. Placing the hands on the knees and just check in with your energy. Notice where you are. Notice the shift, the difference. Now let's welcome in a Sufi Roll. Now, Sufi Rolls are always fun. Here you can just circulate the body around in a circular rotation. Feel free to bring in the head, the neck, the shoulders, smiling to yourself. Keep bringing that breath. And we want to take this Sufi Roll around both directions. Here in this Sufi Roll, we're engaging the core, the abdomen. We're breathing into the wings of the back, the lower back, the shoulders, the hips, and welcoming in that fluid motion, finding the fluidity in our energy. So I love this motion because it helps us release any feelings of feeling stuck or rigid. Nice. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. All right, let's come back to a neutral position. We're going to move into some twisting. So on your inhale, sweeping the arms out and up. The right hand is going to come to your left knee. The left arm is going to come behind you. You can press into the tip of your fingers or press down into the palm of your hand. And you want to keep a soft grip on the left knee. So we don't want to grip a hold to that left knee too much. Just place the hand gently there. On your inhale, press down into the tip of your fingers or the palm of your hand. Inhale, lift through the heart center. Exhale, twist. So gently twisting the torso. Now in your seated twist, bring the head back to a neutral position and then guide the head back. You want to inhale through the nose, exhale out through the mouth. Remember, this practice is all about grounding and releasing. So trust your body's release as you exhale out through the mouth. Slowly guiding the head back up, we're going to bring the right elbow into the center of the lap. On your inhale, sweep the left arm up, bend at the elbow, bring that left hand to the back of your neck or to the upper back. But make sure you place it where you're supported. Now, on your inhale, open out, twist. Here we want to open up the lung capacity. On your exhale, reach and fold. Your left elbow is greeting your right knee. 2 more here. Inhale, open out, twist, deep inhale. Breathe in the fullness of your breath, expanding your lungs. On the exhale, left elbow, right knee. Inhale, open out, twist. Exhale, left elbow, right knee. Inhale, open, extending the left arm up. Let's take it back behind us. This time we want to inhale, lift a little higher. Exhale, twist a little deeper. Rotating back to center. Coming over to the right side. On the inhale, sweeping the arms out and up. Now left hand comes to the right knee. Right arm floats behind us, pressing into the tip of your fingers or pressing down into the palm of your hand. As you inhale, lift. Exhale, twist. Rotating the chin to greet the right shoulder. Deep belly breathing. Pushing the exhale all the way out. And then when you're ready, bringing the head to a neutral position, guiding the head back, inhale through the nose, exhale out through the mouth. Keep smiling to yourself on the inside. We're keeping in mind that seed that we just planted. Nice. Slowly bringing the head back up to a neutral position. We're going to rest the left elbow into the center of the lap, sweeping the right arm up, bending the right elbow, bringing the right hand to the back of the neck or the upper back. On your inhale, open out, twist, expand the lungs. Exhale, reach and fold. Right elbow greets your left knee. Inhale, open out, twist. Nice. Exhale, reach and fold. One more, inhale, open out, twist. Exhale, reach and fold. Beautiful, beautiful. All right, inhale, open out, twist, extend the arm up. Let's guide it back behind us. This time we want to inhale, lift a little higher, exhale, twist a little deeper. Rotating back to center. On the inhale, guiding the shoulders up. On the exhale, roll the shoulders back, shine the heart forward. Now in gentle yoga, this is a practice that is designed for beginners, but it's practiced by all levels. You don't have to be an advanced yogi to do these poses. These poses are perfect to do when you wake up in the morning, before you go to bed, or anytime you need to just ground back into your physical body, find balance, mind, body, and spirit. Somatic movement always helps integrate the energy that's in motion, which essentially are emotions, energy and emotion. So it's perfect to bring in somatic movement. Nice. Now we want to uncross the legs if we had the legs crossed. Let's give the legs a little wiggle. Spread the toes apart, rotate the ankles around. Good. Now we're gonna ball up the hands like little fists, and we wanna just stimulate the legs. Just patting the legs. This helps get the blood circulating. Good. Take the thumbs, rub into the knees. Stay with your breath. Good. Now start to flex the feet here, pushing the heels out to the foot of your yoga mat, spreading the toes apart. The fingers are spread out. Press down into the palm of your hands and just guide the spine up. And we're holding here, pressing down into the back of the knees. Feel yourself rooted and anchored. The breath is the practice. Now coming to the left side, we want to take the right hand and gently rotate the torso over to your right. Both hands are on the left side of your yoga mat and just continue to twist. And here you can press down into the tip of your fingers or into the palm of the hands. Now, if you have the space, you can slowly lower down. But remember, this is your practice, so work with what you have available. Keep pushing those heels out, spreading the toes apart. You're doing great. Continue to celebrate yourself in this moment, honoring your well-being, honoring your breath, honoring your body. Nice, pressing yourself up. Let's come over to the right side. Rotating the torso. Lifting up and returning back to center. When you're ready, bend the right knee. Interlacing the fingers, placing the hands in front of the shins. On your inhale, lift up through the spinal cord. On your exhale, the forehead greets the right knee, excuse me, I'm mirroring. Soften the shoulders. And notice that your forehead may not come down to your left knee. That's totally okay. Remember, your most important thing here is your breath. So what this pose does, it helps you soften any tension in the neck, in the shoulders, and the wings of the back. Honor your pause here. And as you honor your pause, notice that your neck releases more and more, making its way towards your knee. On your inhale, slowly guide the head up. We're going to extend the right leg, bring that right heel to the left big toe. On the inhale, sweeping the arms out and up, reach towards the right foot, but allow your hands to fall where they must. Keep guiding the heart forward. Now, if it's available to you, go ahead and lift the right leg. Now, you may have to grab a hold. You may have to grab a hold to your ankle, the shin, the calf, if you're able to grab a hold to your right foot. That's good too. And just create a circle in the air. So this helps us soften and bring more awareness to the sciatic nerve, the piriformis, the IT band, the hips. Nice, and release. Let's come over to the left leg, bending the knee, interlacing the fingers. As you inhale, lift, soften the shoulders. Exhale, forehead greets your knee. Keep softening the shoulders down. A few more deep breaths here. Honor your pause. On your next breath, guiding the head back up. When you're ready, extending the left leg out, bringing your left heel on top of the right big toe. Inhale, sweeping the arms up. Exhale, reaching for shin, calf, ankle, foot. And then when you're ready, lifting the leg, creating a circle in the air. And release. Let's go ahead and shake those legs out, and we're going to make our way onto our backs. Once you're on your back, heel to walk the feet to the edges of the yoga mat, and then windshield wipe the knees from left to right. So this helps us to stimulate the hips, the root, the sacrum, the lower back, the back of the sacrum. And we're going to take a reconstructive pose here. We use this a lot in physical therapy. So you're heel toe walking your feet out to the edges of your yoga mat. And then you want to bring your knees together as much as you can. Tuck the tailbone under to eliminate the space between your lower back and your yoga mat. And then you want to cactus out the arms, bending at the elbows. Now we're going to apply the pranayama breath of inhaling through the nose and exhaling out through the mouth. In this pose, allow yourself to get really light in your body, releasing any resistance. Almost as if you're floating on a cloud, really light. Notice that the more you breathe, the better you begin to feel. And the better you feel, the deeper you're able to go. In this pose, let everything fall away. It's just you in your breath. Now, when you're ready, slowly start to separate the knees. Heel to walk the feet back towards the center of your yoga mat, hugging the knees one at a time into your chest, bringing those knees together. And we're going to take a twist here, twisting and guiding the knees over to your left. Notice if the right shoulder doesn't come down all the way, you can scoot the left shoulder over to the left and feel into the center of your upper back. Now you can keep the right arm extended out to the right, or you can find some movement here. As you're working with your breath, continue to guide your right knee directly on top of your left. Nice. When you're ready, inhale, exhale, guide the knees back up to center. On your next breath, guide the knees over to your right, stacking the left knee directly on top of your right knee, extending the left arm out to your left, or you can create some movement here. Nice. Inhale, exhale, guiding the knees back up. Let's rock from left to right, breathing into the lower back. Now, this is a space where we hold a lot of tension. So, direct your breath into the lower back. Now let's find a little power in our play. Gentle but power in the play. We're going to extend those legs up and just begin to shake the legs out. Now maybe you want to take the legs out wide, maybe bicycle the legs. Maybe even bring in a little laughter here. Find that playfulness in your being. Wiggling the toes, rotating the ankles around, and to modify, you can do one leg at a time. But find that playful energy. Now for 3 deep breaths, hold the legs up in the air in stillness. And once again, to modify, one leg at a time. You can point or flex the feet here. Now you can also do this pose with legs up the wall. It's a beautiful pose to lower the blood pressure. It helps with the veins in the legs. It helps with swollen feet and ankles. Bending the knees, bringing the soles of the feet down to your mat. Now we're going to move into some pelvic tilts. So the feet are anchored down on your yoga mat. You can grip a hold to the edges of your yoga mat, or you can press down into the palm of the hands. We'll do a few here just to activate that root center. So on your inhale, lift, press into the soles of the feet. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. And you want to squeeze the knees like you have an invisible block in between. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Now let's bring the arms in. We're going to sweep the arms up and overhead. Inhale, lift. Arms float up and overhead. Exhale, float the arms back down. Just two more here. You got it. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. And one more. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Nice. Hugging the knees back into the chest. Rocking up and back on the spine. Let's come sitting up in easy pose. We're going to transition into all four. Now in all four, spread the fingers apart, press down into the palm of the hands. You want to rotate the eye of your elbows forward, that crease in your elbows. Now on your inhale, arch. Shining the heart forward, taking the head back. Exhale, chin to chest. Almost as if you're pushing the floor away. Tucking the tailbone under. Inhale, arch. Exhale, chin to chest. One more, inhale, arch. Exhale, chin to chest. Inhale, arch. Now we're going to continue on with the sequence. Exhale, chin to chest. Inhale, Cobra. In your Cobra, extend the legs back. Roll the shoulders back. Upper body is lifted. Guiding the head back. And then we're going to slowly lower down. Bring the arms to the head of the yoga mat. And then rest the forehead on top. And then you want to press down a little bit into the pelvic region. So this is a really good pose for those that have experienced or are experiencing sciatica. A very beautiful reconstructive pose. Soften the elbows. Stay with your breath. And once again, just allow yourself a total release here. Let everything else fall away. Get really light in your body. On your next breath, lifting the head. Releasing the arms, pressing down into the palm of your hands, moving back into all four. We're going to move into a child's pose here. So separate the knees, bring the two big toes together, and slowly start to shift the tailbone back. Here, go ahead and stretch those arms out towards the head of your yoga mat, lower the head down. Now to offer a modification here, if you want to release more into the hips, you can keep the knees spread apart. If you want to focus more so on releasing into the lower back and the spine, bring the knees together. Walking the hands over to your right. Walking the hands over to your left. Walking the hands back to center. We want to bring the palm of the hands together like prayer hands. Bend at the elbows and take your thumbs to the back of your neck. And if it's available, go ahead and walk the elbows up a little bit more. Deep belly breathing. Extending the arms out. Shifting back into all four. We're going to grip the toes into the yoga mat. Press down into the palm of the hands. Lift the knees off of the mat into a downward dog. If the hands are too much, if it's too much on your wrist, you can always use your fist for wrist and just kind of pedal out the feet here. We won't be here long. And then when you're ready, start to heel, walk the feet and the hands together, excuse me. And then we're in a forward fold here. So in your forward fold, spread the toes apart, and you want to ground down through all four corners of your feet. Feet are about hip width apart. You can just let the arms hang here, or you can connect the palm of your hands to your elbows. Release any tension from the head, the neck, and the shoulders. Deep belly breathing, honoring your pause. Shooting the tailbone back on the exhale. Releasing the palm of the hands if you've connected to the elbows. Bring the hands to the legs and slowly start to make your way up into a standing Tadasana. So now in your standing Tadasana, we're going to go through one more wide-legged forward fold. Oh, it's 6:24. All right, let's do this last one and then we'll close out with the Shavasana meditation. So taking the legs out wide in your forward fold. Two more deep breaths here. And rise. Rotating the hips around. Heel toe walking the feet back together. Nice. And instead of our Shavasana, let's close out with a Sukasana, closing meditation. And we'll close out the way we came in, placing one hand on the heart and another hand on your belly. Closing the eyes. Calling in the intention that you set for your practice. And the seed that you planted. As you work with your breath here, see that seed sprouting out. See that seed growing up into the light. See the seed flowering. And the seed is flowering because you are remaining loyal to your soil, enriching yourself, prioritizing your self-care, using the tools that you have at hand, using the resources that you have to love yourself, nurture yourself. On your next breath, inhale, receive your breath, and seal your intention for your practice. As we bring the palm of the hands together, let's take a collective breath. On the exhale, namaste. This concludes our Loyal to Your Soil yoga workshop. Thank you so much for your attention.
Thank you so much, Misty. Can we give Misty a big round of applause for this beautiful, gentle, yet powerful session? If you can turn your camera on, then we can all see each other for our appreciation and gratitude to Misty for